Alright guys, I just got this in the mail today. It's a M4 bayonet made for the M1 carbines, but this one's a little different. I haven't seen it yet, so let's open it up. This one is made in Japan. Now I know it needs a bit of work doing to it. I didn't pay a huge amount for it. I can hear it rattling. I know the cross guard is loose. Here it is. Right, so that's loose, which I know about. I don't know a huge amount about these, but when I was in the infantry, I did have an M4 bayonet that I carried around occasionally, and it wasn't an issue bayonet. It's one I bought in a gun shop myself. I got it in a gun shop in Newcastle, Tyne-and-Wear, back in the 80s, early 80s. But anyway, getting back to this one. Somewhere, here we go, there's a stamp here, it says Japan. Let's see if we can get any visuals on it for you. There, you can see it just about there, Japan. That intrigued me. I know after the war Japan had to get the economy back online, and one of the things they did was making knives, bayonets, for the US Army, which seems pretty mad as they just got their ass kicked by the US Army, but there you go. So this has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 grooves on the leather handle. Little notch out of it there. But it's the classic fighting knife, isn't it? Design. Another one made for the M1 carbine. I think there's some other rifle that they may have attached to also, but like I say, I'm no expert. I know some of them don't have the pins on the back. This one does, which also got me curious. They're working, the springs are working, but just the crossguard is loose. So I bought it with the intention of, well, I can pull it apart and get it as a operating knife, get it back, get this fixed and get it back working. Because I don't know if it's worth much as a collector's knife. I mean, it's pretty straight. It's being sharpened, of course, but not over sharpened, you know. Still got most of the metal there. Let's get the measuring stick out. Okay, so overall length is 11¼ inches. And the blade is 6½ inches. And that is just short of 3 inches. It looks like that's plastic down by the bottom of the guard. I know some were leather all the way and some had the plastic. And looks the same up at the pommel end. But yeah, it's cleaner than I thought actually. I only saw a couple of pictures of it, and yeah, it's a lot cleaner than I thought. It's a good functional knife. That's annoying, but I can soon fix that. And the fit is pretty good actually. If I pull that up, that fit is not too bad. I can make it better, but that ain't bad. Yeah, it just made me curious that it was made in Japan. I don't see any other marks on the finger guard. No other stamps. I know the American versions are stamped on the finger guard, but this one's just got the Japan stamp. I know some of the Japanese M4 bayonets were made for Keith, K-I-F-F-E, sales company, and they were stamped on the blade with Keith and also Japan. Now this has just got Japan on it. Now I know back in the 60s there was a huge demand for these bayonets once private people were able to buy the M1 carbines. There was quite a demand for the bayonets also. So there was a lot produced from Japan in the early 60s, I believe. So I don't know if this is a 60s one or a late 40s, early 50s. I don't know. It seems there's a bit of mystery to the Japanese M4 bayonets. There's not an awful lot known that I can find out anyway. But it seems some people think there was just one manufacturer and other people think there were several, and there's a bit of mystery around them. But it's a fun thing, a nice bit of history. And the guy I got it off, his father was in the infantry, and he served in Vietnam, and he also served in Korea. But he knows this was with him at some point during his military career, but he didn't know much more than that. But there you go. I just thought I'd share it with you guys. A first look at this bayonet stroke fighting knife. It's a classic. I know someone out there knows exactly what it is. If that's you, drop a little note in the comments. Alright, thanks. Catch you later, guys.